Good morning, students. So in the last few classes, we discussed the various gas laws which are derived based on the experimental observations. So to explain those gas laws, no theoretical background is present. So every time in the science, the scientists were always very curious why the system will be behave in a particular way. That means, for example, if let us take a Boyle's law. So for a fixed amount of a gas and at constant temperature, the pressure is increased by decreasing the volume. By decreasing the volume, why the pressure is increases? So what is the reason behind that one? So that is always want to know everybody. So when the volume is decreased, what is happened at a molecular level? So that is could not explained by any one of these experimental observations. To account for that behavior, so one theory was proposed, that is kinetic molecular theory of gases. This kinetic molecular theory of gases is put forward by or first proposed by the scientist Bernoulli. After that, it was developed and extended by Maxwell Boltzmann. So what are the important postulates of this kinetic molecular theory of gases? The first one, all gases are made up of a very large number of minute particles. So we know very well it is a natural principle. The matter are exist in three physical states: solid, liquid and gas. So definitely any matter in any one of the physical state is made up of ultimately the minute particle, that maybe we speak in terms of atoms or molecules. Here also the gases are made up of very large number of minute particles, those are maybe atoms or molecules. And the second one, so when we observe these gas molecules or gas atoms, the molecules are separated from one another by large distance. The empty space among the molecules are so large that the actual volume of molecule is negligible as compared to total volume of a gas. So in a gas sample, all the gas molecules are never come very close to each other. They are always move away from each other. So whatever the volume is you provided, this entire volume is occupied by the gas molecules. But when we calculate the volume occupied by each gas molecules in that entire volume, so when compared with the entire volume, this volume occupied by gas molecule is always said to be negligible. So that is the second postulate of kinetic molecular theory of gases. The molecules are in a state of ceaseless motion and random motion in all the direction. During their motion, they keep on colliding with one another and also with the walls of the container. As a result, change their directions. So the molecules are in a state of ceaseless motion. That means they never come to the rest. They are always move randomly zigzag in all the directions. So during their motion, they may be collide with one another. The gas molecules collide with each other. Certain times they may be collides with the walls of the container. Whenever they are collide with the walls of the container or collide with the another gas molecule, so immediately change their direction. The motion of in which direction it will be moved, so that direction is changes whenever it is collide with the walls of the container or collide with the another molecule. This is the third postulate of kinetic molecular theory of gases. And the fourth one is molecular collisions are perfectly elastic, that is no loss of energy occurs when the molecules collide with one another or with the walls of the container. However, there may be redistribution of energy during the collision. So that means your molecular collisions are perfectly elastic. That means whenever the two gas molecules are collide with one another, there is no loss of energy. There is an exchange of energy takes place between the two gas molecules. So that's why the average kinetic energy of all the molecules will be remain same. There is no change in the kinetic energy. Suppose if these collisions present between the molecules are not elastic, what is happened? So there is a loss of energies occurs. When the loss of energies occurs, definitely at a particular time, all the gas molecules are comes to the rest. But is it happen really? No. All the gas molecules are always move randomly in all the direction. That is, we said the ceaseless motion. They never comes to the rest. So that is it happen. So definitely, so there is a redistribution of energies takes place. There is exchange of energy takes place between the gas molecules, but there is no loss of energy. So that is the fourth postulate of kinetic molecular theory of gases. And fifth postulate. There are no force of interaction between molecules at ordinary temperature and pressure. They move completely independent of one another. We know very well, the interparticle forces are two types. Attractive forces are there, repulsive forces are there. These attractive and repulsive forces are not present between the gas molecules. So once the attractive and repulsive forces are not present, they move definitely completely independent of another. For example, let us take a gas that was enclosed in a particular volume. So the volume, okay, is expanded. Then what is happened? The gas molecules move away from one another. That is occupying the entire volume. If there is attractive forces are present between the molecules, let us consider if the attractive forces are present, does they occupy the entire volume whatever you are provided? No. So that is clearly indicates here. So there are no force of interaction, that may be attraction or repulsions between the molecules at ordinary temperature and pressure. So that's why they move completely independent of one another. And the sixth one, the pressure exerted by gas is due to the collision of its molecule on the walls of the container per unit area. So whenever we are enclosing the gas in a particular definite volume, in that volume the gas molecules always move randomly in all the direction. So during their motion, definitely certain times they may be strike the walls of a container with a certain force. So that force, it is acting per unit area on the walls of the container, that is called as here pressure. How the pressure is developed inside is, the pressure exerted by the gas is because of the collision of the gas molecules with the walls of the container per unit area. So that is called here pressure. Like that the pressure is exerted inside of the container. And the seventh postulate is, the average kinetic energy of the gas molecules is directly proportional to the absolute temperature. So when we see the kinetic energy of all the gas molecules, so that is always directly proportional to the absolute temperature. When we rise the temperature, so the molecules are gaining the energy, so that movement will be increases. Once the movement is increases, their kinetic energy is also increases. So these are the seven important postulates are proposed by the scientists to explain what is happen microscopic level at a molecular level. So why the pressure is increases by the decreasing the volume, by the increasing the temperature. So why the volume increases. So to answer such questions theoretically, so this was the theory is proposed. So on the basis of this postulates of kinetic molecular theory of gases, one mathematical expression or equation was derived. So that is your kinetic gas equation. So that kinetic gas equation is PV is equal to 1 by 3 mnu square. What is P? Pressure of a gas. V is volume of a gas. M is mass of a gas molecule. Small n is number of molecules in volume, capital V. And U is the velocity of gas molecules. Here velocity we can always substitute root mean square speed. Because the syllabus was not there in your syllabus, there are different types is there. The average speed is there, most probable speed is there, RMS speed is there. Always we can take into the count always velocity in terms of which one? Root mean square speed. So based on this kinetic gas equation, so we will explain the Boyle's law and Charles' law, Avogadro's law and Dalton's law of partial pressure and Graham's law of diffusion. So these are all the laws will be deducted. So from this kinetic gas equation, that is now we will discuss. So first we need to deduction the Boyle's law from the kinetic gas equation. We know that kinetic gas equation is kinetic gas equation is PV is equal to 1 by 3 mn u square. So in this equation, the right hand side you can multiply and divide it with 2 into 1 by 3 mn u square. Just we are rearranging this equation, PV is equal to 2 by 3 into 1 by 2 mn u square. We know that kinetic energy of one molecule of a gas is equal to 1 by 2 m u square, because your speed we can express in terms of u square. Therefore, the kinetic energy of n molecules of a gas is equal to 1 by 2 mn u square. So that in the place of 1 by 2 mn u square, what we substituted? Kinetic energy. So that's why PV is equal to 2 by 3 into kinetic energy. We know that the seventh postulate says very clearly, according to postulates of kinetic molecular theory of gases. Kinetic molecular theory of gases. Kinetic energy of gas molecules is directly proportional to absolute temperature. So that in the place of kinetic energy, what we write is, so temperature. That is, we write as, we may also write this is kinetic energy is equal to K into T. Then you can substitute it here. Then PV is equal to 2 by 3 into K into T. This is the equation we get. At a constant temperature, that is T. It is constant, it is also constant, it is also constant. Then PV is equal to constant. PV is equal to constant tells about the which law at constant temperature? Boyle's law. So we may also write as PV is equal to some constant K, then P is equal to K into 1 by V, then P is inversely proportional to volume of a gas. So now this is the equation can be tells about the, either this one or this one is tells about the Boyle's law. So like that we can deduct the Boyle's law from the kinetic gas equation. So the second law, that is Charles law, is deduction from the kinetic gas equation. The same procedure as the Boyle's law. We know that the kinetic gas equation is PV is equal to 1 by 3 mn u square. Divide and multiply with 2. Then PV is equal to 2 by 2 into 1 by 3 mn u square. Just I am rearranging the equation. PV is equal to 2 by 3 into 1 by 2 mn u square. So we know that the kinetic energy of one molecule of a gas is 1 by 2 m u square. For n molecules, 1 by 2 mn u square. So in the place of 1 by 2 mn u square, I substitute the kinetic energy of n molecules of a gas. So that PV is equal to 2 by 3 into kinetic energy. And according to the postulates of kinetic molecular theory of gases, The average kinetic energy of a gas molecules is always directly proportional to the absolute temperature. That is Ke is equal to K into T. So then the Ke in the place of Ke in this equation we substituted so Kt. Then PV is equal to 2 by 3 into Kt. Then at constant pressure, just okay, the above equation I write as 2 by 3 into K by P into T. So 2 by 3 is a constant value, K is constant, I maintain a constant pressure. Then what is the volume is directly proportional to the temperature. So at constant pressure for a given mass of a gas, the volume of a given mass of a gas is directly proportional to the absolute temperature. So this is clearly indicates which law? Charles law. So like that, the Charles law is deducted from the kinetic gas equation as like this. So the third one, that is Avogadro's law, is deduction from the kinetic gas equation. So before deduction, let us consider the two gases taken, they are 1 and 2, having the equal volumes at a constant temperature and pressure. According to the kinetic gas equation, that is PV is equal to 1 by 3 mn U square. You can apply for the first gas, that is P1 V1 is equal to 1 by 3 M1 N1 U1 square. For second gas, P2 V2 is equal to 1 by 3 M2 N2 U2 square. We said in the beginning equal volumes of two different gases and at the same pressure. That's why the V1 is equal to V2, P1 is equal to P2. That means P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. These both are same, so that these two are equal. 1 by 3 M1 N1 U1 square is equal to 1 by 3 M2 N2 U2 square. So on both sides you can multiply and divide it with 2. Then just by rearranging after dividing and multiplying with 2, 2 by 3 into 1 by 2 M1 N1 U1 square is equal to 2 by 3 into 1 by 2 M2 N2 U2 square. So we know very well, so the kinetic energy of the two gases will be remained same at constant temperature. That is simply 1 by 2 M1 U1 square is equal, that is 1 by 2 M2 U2 square. The kinetic energy we write as kinetic energy is equal to 1 by 2 Mu square. At a constant temperature, the kinetic energy of the gas molecules also will be remained same. That's why here 1 by 2 M1 U1 square is equal to 1 by 2 M2 U2 square. So both are cancelled, then what is left here? N1 is equal to N2. So here initially we can take an equal volumes of two different gases at constant temperature and pressure containing equal number of molecules or moles of two different gases. So equal volumes of gases containing equal number of molecules at constant temperature and pressure is indicates which law? That is Avogadro's law. So the next one is the deduction of Graham's law from kinetic gas equation. So as we discussed in the earlier laws, like that we can write first kinetic gas equation. PV is equal to 1 by 3 Mn U square. Just I am rearranging this equation. U square is equal to 3 PV by Mn. So here one important point we need to be remember, that is, so the mass of one molecule mass is small m. N molecules mass is m into n, because if one molecule is m, n molecules means n into m. So similarly, in the place of n molecules, the 6.023 into 10 to the power of 23 molecules are there. Then what is that mass is 6.023 into 10 to the power of 23 into m. So 6.023 into 10 to the power of 23 molecules means, okay, 1 mole. So 1 mole of gas mass is how much here? 6.023 into 10 to the power of 23 into m. Generally, the mass of 1 mole of any gas, is always equal to the molar mass of a gas. That is, I discussed very clearly in the measurable properties of gases. That's why here simply the Mn is representing the mass of n gas molecules. If gas contain Avogadro number of molecules, if n is equal to 1 mole, okay, that is 6.023 into 10 to the power of 23 molecules, then that is 1 mole. The mass of 1 mole of a gas is always equal to which one? Molar mass. That's why if n is equal to 1 mole, then n is equal to 6.023 into 10 to the power of 23 molecules, then Mn is always equal to the which one? Molar mass, that is capital M. So that's why in the place of Mn, I substituted capital M, then U square is equal to 3 PV by M, then U square is equal, so molar volume by molar mass, that is nothing but density, U square is equal to 3P by density, because density is equal to mass by volume. So here volume by molar mass is there, that's why that is 1 by D, that is why 3P by D, here V by M is equal to 1 by D. So now U is equal to square root of 3P by D. So at constant temperature and pressure, so the pressure is constant, 3 is constant, U is inversely proportional to the square root of D. U is nothing but speed, that is a rate. So the rate of effusion of a gas is inversely proportional to the square root of density at constant temperature and pressure. So that is indicates which law? Gram's law. Only the thing we need to be remember here the 2 points. Okay. So to get the Gram's law from the kinetic gas equation Mn, the Mn is equal to M when if n is equal to 6.023 into 10 to the power of 23 molecules. So 6.023 into 10 to the power of 23 molecules means 1 mole. The mass of 1 mole of a gas is always equal to the molar mass. That's why in the place of Mn I substituted M. So from that one I can get the U is directly proportional to 1 by square root of density. U is nothing but speed. So the rate is nothing but is also the same speed. So that's why in the place of U, just for our explain the Gram's law, I can write as R. R is directly proportional to 1 by square root of density. The rate of diffusion is of a gas is always inversely proportional to the square root of density at constant temperature and pressure. That is called as Gram's law. So the Dalton's law also will be deducted from the kinetic gas equation. So we know that kinetic gas equation PV is equal to 1 by 3 Mn U square. Let us take the two gases having the different number of moles, N1 moles and N2 moles, whose masses are M1 and M2, whose velocities are U1 and U2. But these two gases are enclosed in a definite volume, that is capital V. That is, you can apply the kinetic gas equation for the two gases which are enclosed in the same volume. Then the PV is equal to 1 by 3 Mn U square. Out of all these factors, the volume is constant. The remaining are different. P1, M1, N1, U1. P2, M2, N2, U2. That is, I write here P1V is equal to 1 by 3 M1, N1, U1 square. P2V is equal to 1 by 3 M2, N2, U2 square. And here, so just rearranging this equation, P1 is equal to 1 by 3 M1, N1, U1 square divided by V. Then P2 is equal to 1 by 3 M2, N2, U2 square by V. So these two gases are taken in the same volume. So that's why the partial pressure of these two gases, P total is equal to the pressure of each gas, we can substitute 1 by 3 M1, N1, U1 square by V plus 1 by 3 M2, N2, U2 square by V. This is represents P1, this is represents P2. That is P total is equal to P1 plus P2. So the total pressure of a non-reacting gas mixture enclosed in a definite volume is always equal to the sum of the partial pressure of each gas present in the gaseous mixture. So this is represents the Dalton's law. So some other important points also there from this kinetic gas equation. These are very important for your examination point of view also. So we know the kinetic gas equation PV is equal to 1 by 3 Mn U square. Just you can divide and multiply on the right hand side with 2. Then PV is equal to 2 by 3 into 1 by 2 Mn U square. So 1 by 2 Mn U square is represents the kinetic energy of N molecules. That is PV is equal to 2 by 3 into kinetic energy. The ideal gas equation, that is PV is equal to nRT. If N is equal to 1, that is 1 mole of a gas is present, then PV is equal to RT. In the place of PV, we can substitute so RT. then RT is equal to 2 by 3 into kinetic energy. Just rearranging this equation, we get KE, kinetic energy is equal to 3 by 2 RT. Then kinetic energy, 3 by 2 is constant, R is constant. Kinetic energy is directly proportional to the absolute temperature. So, for 1 mole of a gas, okay, what is the formula? The kinetic energy formula is which one? Kinetic energy is equal to 3 by 2 RT. So, this is for the 1 mole of a gas. For 1 mole of gas, what is the formula of kinetic energy? 3 by 2 RT. So, that is kinetic energy of 1 mole of a gas is equal to 3 by 2 RT. Suppose I want to calculate the kinetic energy of n moles of a gas. For 1 mole, so generally for 1 mole, what is the formula is there? 3 by 2 RT. For n moles, what is that? For n moles, how much? And it's nothing but we get n into 3 by 2 RT divided by 1. That is 3 by 2 nRT. That's why the kinetic energy of n moles of a gas, what is the formula? 3 by 2 nRT. This is the second important conclusion. And the third one is, okay, for 1 mole we can calculate it, for n moles also we can calculate it. For 1 molecule, what is the kinetic energy? That is, what is the kinetic energy of 1 molecule of a gas? So this is we can deduct it from this formula. The kinetic energy of 1 mole of a gas we know that is 3 by 2 RT. 1 mole of a gas is consist how many number of molecules? 6.023 into 10 to the power of 23. So that's why instead of 1 mole, what should I write here? Kinetic energy of 6.023 into 10 to the power of 23 molecules of a gas is 3 by 2 RT. So 3 by 2 RT is the kinetic energy of how many molecules? 6.023 into 10 to the power of 23 molecules. So what does he ask for 1 molecule? What is the kinetic energy? For 6.023 into 10 to the power of 23 molecules, kinetic energy is 3 by 2 RT. For 1 molecule of what is the kinetic energy? So that is 1 into 3 by 2 RT divided by 6.023 into 10 to the power of 23. So that is 3 by 2 into R, okay, into T divided by, in the place of 6.023 into 10 to the power of 23, I write with a symbol, Avogadro number symbol, that is capital N. So then R by N is a Boltzmann constant, because R is a constant, N is also constant. So Boltzmann constant whose value is 1.38 into 10 to the power of minus 23 joule Kelvin inverse molecule inverse. So that's why in the place of R by N, what should I substitute here? K. So that is K is a Boltzmann constant, then 3 by 2 KT. So that kinetic energy of 1 molecule of a gas is 3 by 2 KT. Here are the 3 formulas we need to be remembered. The kinetic energy of 1 mole of a gas is 3 by 2 RT, where R is a constant, gas constant, T is the absolute temperature. And here, while substituting the value of R, you need to be taken in joules or calories, whatever we can ask. Don't substitute it in liter atmosphere, mole inverse or Kelvin inverse, or milliliter atmosphere, mole inverse or Kelvin inverse. You have to substitute the value of R in terms of the joules or kilojoules or calories or kilocalories, whatever you can ask. So similarly, for n moles of a gas, what is the formula? 3 by 2 nRT. What is the kinetic energy of 1 molecule of a gas is 3 by 2 kT. What is K? Boltzmann constant. What is its value? 1.38 into 10 to the power of minus 23 joule Kelvin inverse molecule inverse. These are the 3 important formulas you need to be remembered from your examination point of view. Once again, kinetic energy of 1 mole of a gas is 3 by 2 RT. Kinetic energy of n mole of a gas is 3 by 2 nRT. Kinetic energy of 1 molecule of a gas is 3 by 2 KT. So this is about the kinetic molecular theory of gas and the deduction of all the gas laws from the kinetic molecular theory of gas.